Russell, if we can just have a very brief reflection on the midweek game, because I've been thinking a lot about that game since I watched it on Tuesday. There's so many positives to take from that match, so many things to think about. Do you feel the same way? Have you reflected on that game, on performances, on the way the team came together, and did you look at the team and think they're starting to kind of play the way I want them to play, and there are a lot of things to take from it?
Yeah, I think we're still a work in progress. I think you're right, there's loads of positives. Really pleased with some of it, really proud of some of the performances and the way they solved problems and some new problems on the pitch. So I just feel like we're so early still, and we've still got so much work to do. So I am so pleased with a lot of it, but still find so much that we need to work on and improve on and help the players with. So yeah, I'm really pleased with them. I think they deserved it. I said that, and it gives us loads of positivity and confidence going into a really, really big game tomorrow. But the players are also aware that there's still so much to work on. There's still so much in the process we haven't even got to yet. So yeah, really, really positive, really pleased. But at the same time, we have to look forward and make sure we're ready for the next challenge.
A player like Matthew Sorinola, he'll catch the eye because of the way that he plays his football, his pace, his movement, and he's a youngster, so he's always that kind of player that will catch the eye. Can he get better and better and better? Will he, or do you believe he's got the potential to go very far in the business?
He has to. He has to get better. So if he's going to be a regular player for us and try and progress his career and play at the highest level, then yeah, he has to keep getting better. They all do. Every single one of our players, I've told them that none of them should be comfortable playing in League One. That shouldn't be the pinnacle of their career. So we want to take the club higher than that. It's going to take us time. I don't know how long it will take, but hopefully we'll get a chance to get there eventually. We want to. Everyone wants to work at the highest level they possibly can. The young guys, in particular, have got to strive for that. So we've got a really good group here, a really good mix of experience and youth, and the younger players, especially Matty and John, and the players that have done really well during this pre-season period for us and are starting to make an impact. That's because they've improved over a very short period of time, because they take the work in, they listen to the detail, they learn quickly, they want to learn, and they show the right attitude to improvement and developing, and they have to continue to do that. I think the minute someone gets comfortable, it's really dangerous for a football player. Really dangerous position to be in when you sit in the comfort zone, and because ultimately you are being judged constantly. You are being. There's always a replacement being lined up for you in case you get sold, or you don't hit the heights you should, or you don't perform well enough. And that's life. That's football. That's how it is. You know, I speak to the guys about it every single season. When I was a player at a club playing at the top level, people were trying to replace me. That's their job. In football, that's their job in life, to replace what they have and to improve what they've got. So it's my job here to continuously improve what we have, and so far they all show the right attitude and dedication to their craft to make sure they're trying to do that as well. So all the time they share the same aspiration and intensity for improvement, then we're going to be fine. And these guys have got a lot of room for improvement. They've got really high ceilings. Dave Kasumi, Matty, people like that, because of what they've got. What they're starting with, so it's up to us to make sure they realise that, but also it's up to them to make sure they're accountable for their own careers and develop it into the players they should be.
You must get a kick out of that, Russell, because looking at those players, I actually said this during commentary. You must be actually, as much as you have got a job to do as a manager to get this team to play football and win matches in League One. You must be actually quite excited to be able to work with a group of players that clearly have room for development and you can mould them into the team that you want them to be. You must get a kick out of that.
That's really exciting for all of us. So I think these guys have not played many games. They're players who are making their way early on. But I think the most important thing is we try and develop them on and off the pitch. We try and develop them as people. We try and develop them as players. They become really in tune with and really self-aware of who they are and where they need to get to and what they need to do. So it's constant work on them, whether it's on the pitch, off the pitch, video meetings, just chats here and there about what they're up to, what they're doing, lifestyle off the pitch. So it's just about educating people constantly. We've got people in here who've been fortunate enough to do it at a really high level, and It's about passing on experience and sharing, that wisdom, if you like, in terms of their football careers and how it can happen, and making sure that they know what they're capable of, but at the same time being really demanding. And I've said to them lots of times, I'm not going to apologise for being really demanding them, because I want to make sure we maximise the potential of everyone we have. And I take it really personally that we have to try and maximise these guys, and if we don't, then we've let them down, and they've let themselves down. I don't ever want to feel like that. So we give everything we've got, and all we ask for in return is that they give everything they've got to maximise what they have. And as I said so far, that's why they're involved and are on the pitch and doing well, because they've shown they're willing to do that.
Scott Fraser, a player brought into the club, brought into the squad, great addition. And with the fact that Scott was courted by other football clubs, it's probably even sweeter to get a player like Scott at MK Dons.
Yeah, I think that's been the case for most of the players we've gone for. I think they've all had other options and they've all chosen us, which has been obviously really positive and exciting for us, because I've said it all the way along that we are only going to bring in players that really add to the team, to the squad, to the club, on and off the pitch. And Scott's another one who was identified really early on, and we thought we'd lost to a club in a higher division, and then it's not happened. For whatever reason, he's still he was still in discussions with other clubs at our level and in the Championship, and then managed to get him down finally to come and watch a game and have a proper chat with him and show him what we're doing and the philosophy of the team and the identity of the club, etc. And fortunately, he's decided he didn't need to go and meet two other clubs, because he made his mind up. So it's really positive for us. Really pleased with that. And yeah, he's going to be another really good signing. He's going to take a little bit of time to get up to speed, because he's been off for so long and he hasn't been training with the team. He's been training on his own, which we all know is really different. But really hoping to have him in the squad really quickly and manage his minutes and manage himself and get him in really top shape. So when he's ready to start a game, he's ready to kick off with us and take off. So he's a really good player at this level. He played really well against us last season. Watched a lot of him, and he's going to really add, and he had something different as well to the group. So really pleased to get him in.
Would it be okay if we just caught up with one or two of the injuries and where some of the players are at the moment? George Williams, how's he looking? Would he be available for selection?
He's back training, so next week he'll be available for selection. So it's his first few days of training, so we just need to make sure he's okay and gets through it. But he's back and he's looking good. So George is back with the squad, which is great.
How about Ben Gladwin?
Ben's will be back next week, so that's really pleasing. He's in contention for the squad tomorrow, but in terms of starting the game and stuff, it might be a little bit early. We'll wait and see. But he's training with the group today, but probably back involved in the squad next week, I'd have thought. And
Lewis Thompson, how's Lewis?
A couple of weeks, not too bad at all. Thankfully. So just a couple of weeks. He'll be another week or two until he returns to training. We've got Richard Keogh returning to training now as well, which is great. So all really looking really positive on the injury front.
Are you? I don't want to talk about Reece Healey, because that's been done and we've done that. That's finished with. But now working with the players and now working with strikers, do they all have a sense of responsibility to score goals? Is there a collective responsibility when a player who was obviously a clear goal scorer is taken out of the side? You have to adapt, and your message to players in midfield and even one or two of the defenders, your job is to score goals as well.
I think everything we do has to be a team objective. It's as simple as that. So it has to be collective. I think Reece scoring all of those goals was, I've said it before and we spoke about it before, was down to the team putting him in a position every single week where he had to do the last bit, really. So it was getting us in that position at the pitch in good order, in a structure where Reece could thrive and do that last bit. And Reece really kicked on once Carlton Morris came in the door and took a lot of the work off Reece that he had to do. I think Reece would be the first one to credit his teammate. But moving on from that, I think everyone needs to be ready to contribute with goals. That if we keep a clean sheet, that's a team effort. That starts with the strikers pressing really aggressively and hard and high up the pitch for us. So everything we do is not revolved around any individual. It's revolved around the team. It's about making us stronger as a unit and as a group together. So I'm confident we'll be able to do that and get people. If you look at the other night, I think Regan scored a couple in pre-season. Callum scored one against Fulham. So the wing backs are getting in the positions to score goals. Midfielders are breaking into the box. Sam Nombe could have had a few the other night. Dave Kasumu maybe on another night would have had a goal or two. So yeah, I'm not. It's not something I'm having sleepless nights about. I think we've got enough goals around the pitch, and they need to make sure they contribute, but they also need to make sure they show us the right mentality when we get in those positions, which is obviously something that Reece did. So we need to make sure that people are able to do that, and it's about coaching, it's about putting them in that position a lot, repetition, making sure they're ready for that, and then them having the mentality on a match day. But as I said, we're still working on bringing in someone. That doesn't change, and if it takes as long as it did with Scott to get the right one, because in Scott we waited and we got the right one, then that's what it will take. So as I said, I'm not compromising anything we do by bringing anyone who's is about individualism and about doing it for themselves. It has to be about the team. It has to be about bettering the club moving forward, and these things take time.
Just a couple more from me. Do things feel different now? Obviously, you joined midway through a season. You had that period as manager to take the side and guide them through, and then obviously lockdown happened. Does it feel different now this season? It's your team, completely your players. It's your season, as it were.
Yeah, I think so. I think the whole lockdown process or the time off gave me so much time to think and reflect, and the more it went on, the more I wanted it to feel different in terms of the feel of the squad, the expectation, even the downstairs, the dressing room. That's why it was so important for me to get that changed, which is something we're getting done this week. So just, I wanted everything to feel different. It needed to. I think last year, as I spoke about a lot of times, I was so proud of everyone for how far they came in a short period of time in a really, really difficult situation. This year it's more of a clean slate, although obviously everyone's been affected by what's gone on over the last 6-7 months. But in terms of the feel of the squad, the culture, the environment, the demands on the players, I love the feel of it, and it feels more me and more us, what the staff want, and we need to keep making sure it continues to go that way, because I have real belief in that being the correct way for us, definitely as a group, and for the football club.
And finally, Doncaster, a really good early test. But I would imagine at this point, especially after lockdown and the loss of football and everything that's changed in everyone's life, most of your squad, in fact, all of your squad, your team and you and all your coaching staff, just want to play some football, just want to get stuck into this league.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? So it's a tough start. We had a really good game against them away from home, and then a tough one as well here at home. So we know it is going to be a tough start. They're a good team, but I think everyone's excited to get back playing. I think the last 2 games have given us even more reflection time to know what we want to work on, how we want to go to Doncaster, and how we want to be. So we have to make sure we get the players ready to go there and do what we want them to do, and got real belief in this group of players and what we've got here at the club. So we'll go into every game expecting to win it, or trying to win it, and expecting real intensity and desire from the players. That's the one thing I think we can expect every week, and I think that's the one thing they'll show every single week. We can guarantee. We can't guarantee results or performances, but I guarantee they'll go into it with that mentality of trying to win the game and making sure that we try and stick to what we are and what we're about, and see where that takes us. I've said all along it's about improvement. The 2 games previously have been great. Obviously 2 decent enough performances and 1 victory, and now it's about making sure we have that same mentality and drive and intensity in a league game, because things do change a little bit, and with no supporters it's going to be unique, it's going to be different for a little bit, and it's up to us to make sure we adapt to that and perform. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing the players play tomorrow, and it will feel different, that's for sure.
Thanks, Russell. Cheers.
No problem.
Morning, Russ.
Morning.
A quick question about Sam Nombe. He obviously had a breakout season last year. How much expectation have you got of him this season, and how much more room has he got for improvement?
He's got a lot of room for improvement. He needs to work on a lot of things. He knows that. We have a lot of chats. He's really willing and wants to improve on those things. So I think he broke into the team, and a team that played a completely different way and relied on his athleticism and power, and now he's playing a certain style that probably relies a little bit less on that and needs him to think a bit more, and to work on the other sides of his game a little bit more. But he showed with his goal the other night. He's got it. He's definitely, last year I think that he completely exceeded a lot of people's expectations, apart from his own, because he has real belief in himself, which is great. It's one of his real strengths, and obviously his athleticism and his power. So it's about harnessing that and making sure we keep improving him. He keeps showing a mentality to improve, and having people like Carl Morris, Joe Mason around him will only help him for sure. So yeah, he's like David and Matty, the ones we spoke about already, that we have to keep being really demanding of him, really honest with him, and making sure that he wants to improve as well. Because if he does, as I said with the others, they've got really high ceilings in terms of football because of the gifts that they have with their athleticism, with their dedication to working hard. So now it's about making sure we put all that together, and he contributes to the team every single week.
Someone who's not actually one of your players, someone that the fans have been asking me a lot about, is Southend striker Stephen Humphreys. He's going to Rochdale, it would seem. Were you ever interested in him? Were you ever looking at him? Was he the subject of your record-breaking bid?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't the subject of our record-breaking bid. I probably know where it's come from. I'm not suggesting his agents put it there, but I am good friends with his agent. I've known him for a long time, so we were teammates once. But Stephen is a good player, but he wasn't and hasn't been on the list for us. So yeah, that's that one.